pivot back to wherever else they're able to find an opening. Avova switching onto the Astra here, which is something previously they've dabbled with, but on particular on Split, it would typically be an Omen. I think that's going to be a key component to look at for G2. Again, there's a couple of other changes here. Kellogg's back on the Jet. Previously, we saw him dabble with the Reyna, and also Coldament on the Killjoy. So, couple of changes here. We've got to question the prep behind that, Lauren.
We do, and of course, we've seen the Viper as well. Definitely caught the attention of the desk, so no need to linger on it, because we are into the game. And Sentinels on the attacking side, the returning Reykjavik champions looking hot to trot, and G2, the unlikely boys who are going to have to prove something monstrous here. Awaken the beast that has truly been just sealed away. Got to see what they can bring. Round one already started up. Sentinels having a look towards that A side.
Actually, straight away, the wall in place to prevent that cross into heaven. At least have to give some information away. Nuki going to be called upon here with the frenzy. Actually ignores the dash, but 10 still finds the opening. Sentinels trying to carve their way into A site right now, and Mixwell left to do nothing but sit inside screens. Now the poison orb going to go up, and that's going to potentially give a lot more control over to Sentinels as the spike is planted.
Let's see how much ground they can get. Like the springboard back in. Shazam does not care for it. He's leaning forward, catches the CT push from Mixwell as Dapper looking towards that playback through from the T side, that flank that will be coming in. We saw it slowly building with Avova over that side, but he's got support, he's got Kellogg's here as well. But Sentinels, boys, they're a little different. They just don't miss. This is clean. The only one to draw blood so far is Avova. That's 2. But there's an army in the way. This isn't going to happen. 8 HP. The dream's dead. Tens has got it. That's the first. Sentinels pick up where they left off.
Actually, G2, in my eyes, the correct formation to deal with that, right? The only problem being Nuki kind of stuck there. Once that execution comes through, being on the raids, there's no real get out of jail free card right there. It's a one and done, and he didn't deliver on that front. So Sentinel's able to capitalize on that opening fairly easily. See if G2 throw anything into it. It's going to be Kellogg's with a Sheriff, but other than that, nothing across the board. See if they stack up and try and get a little bit aggro. And looking at 4 players actually towards A, but Spike leaning B side, and there's 2 members outside garage here. So Coldamenta will be called upon here, or at least Tommy Turret. We'll give that information away. Tens and sick. Information garnered on the back of it. They will retrieve the orb. But elsewhere, again, there's 2 players creeping through mid as well.
Yeah, that's been catching my eye. And look at all the attention G2's putting it this way. They're about to get crunched on this. Poor Coldamenta. Very unfavorable scenario for him as Sentinels. Lovely start, very clean, and I want to see how they fare in these anti-ecos, I guess you could say. I mean, we have a Shorty and a Sheriff, not much else. This should be 5 alive. If you're looking at Sentinels as expectations, I mean, most of us, if we're being reasonable, probably chose between maybe Gambit, if you're more of an EMEA fan, NA, looking at Sentinels here, and if you're a bit weird like me, I go 100 Thieves. But these boys are the real deal. And as you can see, so far 5 standing, and Kellogg's is your last one there.
Spike planted.
Not going to get any bonuses there at all. Prime Gaming flawless, 2nd round. Sentinels looking sharp, and this isn't a surprise to us yet. This is going par for the course.
Absolutely, and again, nothing really, gained by D2 in terms of how these first 2 rounds have played out. I think actually Sentinels are going to look to obviously capitalize on this, on the SMGs here, maybe stack up for a full-on site here early on. G2 going to be called upon very early in this round. Again, I don't want to see them lean too heavily forward. This time looks like spread pretty thin. It's only Mixwell at the minute towards screens on A. It's double stack towards B tower actually, with Avova down towards garage. But Sentinel spread across as well. Kellogg's going to be called upon in mid here.
Okay, gets out. Might play Nuki a little. Didn't quite get the pickup he wanted, and damage not quite being done until then. Coldamenta going to draw blood over by Mailroom, and they are actually greeting the challenge in towards middle, keeping them just at arm's length, maybe just far enough for those rifles to ring through. But bear in mind, statistically speaking, and just by every account statistically, and any way you want to look at this, G2 should be able to convert this round, but those SMGs, when brought up nice and close, if they can keep pressuring mid, can still do damage. Now again, this pressure is between Nuki and Kellogg's.
Kellogg's actually backed all the way away from this, and Six still forcing his way in here. Actually getting way, way closer. Avova has to be called upon for a gravity well there. And Sentinels closing the distance here. It's going to be really difficult. Kellogg's is down to 2 HP.
Yeah, this is good though. Nice aim from him, but now he's under severe scrutiny. He's going to be eventually found. Avova's got his back though, and this is good trading. Dapper, great work. Big damage. Wants to pressure CT. Why not get in there? Get in their faces! Nuki, he's got it. And there's one back, as they needed to stop the rot. You don't want to see that bonus round being converted. That's when a spiral could occur.
Yeah, again, one more weapon there. I'm a little more concerned for G2, but majority stand. Sentinels forced to reinvest. Yeah, it's interesting to see, again, that slow kind of progression through mid, again, trying to cut down the distance, make the most of those SMGs.
Turret out.
G2 well positioned to handle that, though. Again, Sentinels, this time actually, 3 members over towards A main. Again, Mixwell the only one on A site for G2. Be very careful here. Again, the Viper wall up. Sick actually opens up straight away onto Kellogg's.
Look, you can get away with that against others, but the aim on the Sentinel side is just unrelenting. Mixwell's going to have to deal with this as well now. Ten's on the other side. He knows what's around that corner, but he's got Nookie by his side, so it's not so bad just yet. Actually, even gets to back away. Lovely utility work, but does he dare double down? Nookie wants it, sticks around for it. This isn't bad, but this is still such a bloody battle as Sick wins that final fight, and now suddenly the site is open, ready for the taking of 3v2. And there's going to be the ult to just allow that ferrying of the spike across safely.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a comfortable plant inside the Viper's pit. Over and Cold Amenta. Really, really difficult for them to break through here, especially with the Zombs positioned so deep. Actually, it gives them a pocket just behind on site, really, to play from. The wall as well across elbow. This is a tough retake for them.
Oh, you think about the utility that's just been flooded in. They can just sit the time ticking so favorably towards Sentinels. Avova shows where he is now. Pulls attention, but shows that he's also off it. Dips away, but that allows Cold Amenta find a bit of space towards Dapper, but bear in mind there is one player who is the safety net, but that is going to be Zoms. Has to give away position, but he will get Avova. That's exactly what the doctor ordered, as Zoms, the swishest safety net so far.
Actually, investment of the ultimate there as well. Very, very late into that. It's just desperation to maybe create some pocket of safety on site to get a defuse through, but without the half at that point. There's a problem. The first time, like I said, Sentinel stacking 3 up here, so kind of Nookie coming across to rotate. Mixwell obviously put in grave danger behind the wall. Again, if they can stack up like this, I think Sentinels really, time and time again, can condition G2 to lean a couple of players towards there. And look at it now, on the back of that previous round, they've got Kellogg's there, Cold Amenta switched up, Mixwell now again looking for control around the orb. So Nookie put in a position where he'll have a lot of pressure if he tries to even stop this cross into Mail.
This round again, G2 have a couple of bits and pieces. Mixwell and Nookie getting the Spectres, a couple of Sheriffs to supplement, but it's very light in comparison, of course, to Sentinels, who are sitting quite flush. Shaz on the Spectre, the rest all locked and loaded, but maybe feeling out what they're coming up against. No real rush on this one yet. Yes, the wall's invested, and Ten's showing a little leg, but it's not too much to worry about just yet. 58 seconds, and there's the first contact. Sick with a comfortable opening, looking like they want to get towards B now. Take that space that's been given and allow Tens that freedom to roam a little further forward, clear the site, and you can already see those defensive lines are starting to build up around this site.
Dapper, good awareness by Kellogg's, at least of the possibility. Cold Amenta actually good for the trade. One weapon retrieved at least in mid, but how much more they can do in this round. Sentinels with a man advantage, and it's tough to break through here with 2 SMGs. Cold Amenta can even get out of that smoke, actually. Sick. For a moment, glanced away, and actually Cold Amenta finds one.
Yeah, but it's instantly traded. That's the beauty there of Tens coming around. But it is going to be found again by Nookie, so there's a bit of a back and forth here. But Mixwell just saying geared out for it, as Tens is just locked in the back of the site, and Zoms is the one to shut it out. This is comfortable from Sentinels. Yes, a couple of kills here and there, but I'm looking at rounds now. This is not a comfy map for G2. If you look statistically, sure, you may look at it on first glance and go, oh, that's okay, but thinkable with the target on their back as they do.
Shazam actually going to pop Blade Storm up the rip here. Kellogg's actually with the operator online. He's over towards B main here. Nookie invests the showstopper, but nothing on the other side of it. That's a lot of utility getting sent out here by Nookie just to try and slow down this push or try and regain some control.
Nice.
Actually, Tens will find 2 there. Tens and Zoms fall.
Yeah, that's so well done by Nookie. Finally taking a little bit of, I guess, proactive play towards middle, even though he's been pretty much dictated to by that man. Even just the audio cue forced his hand earlier on, and now Shazam is not done yet. He still has to do some more, because Dapper just got caught off trying to play up towards A. Can Shaz do something miraculous here? Knives out. It's time to go. Has to find the player just around that corner. He knows what he's got to do. And no, it's not worked out well. Cold Amenta, lovely. For
G2, if they can actually spread thin enough where they can greet this presence in mid, they can maintain control and look to Kellogg's on the operator to do that towards B garage at least. But Dapper is going to be a constant threat throughout this half. Actually, Sentinels now. Sheriff's across the border. Stinger. Outside of Dapper.
We went real Australian on that. Stinger.
Stinger.
Bit sharky.
Bit sharky out here today.
But we'll see what it looks like. This is a... I mean, we've got 4 Sheriffs. So a little bit of a Shiko here. Yeah, maybe they can punish these closer angles. But G2 well aware, of course, of the economy. Maybe not the Stinger. So going to have to respect that. And it's a little deeper. Make it hard work. The Sentinels do at least get a little bit of ground gain towards that A site, but Coldamenta still just happy to sit back, spam away. Not too many worries just yet. How much room is Shaz going to be given here? That's what makes me nervous.
This is what I'm talking about. Kellogg's being in position with the operator to greet kind of the other side of this play. And that's on the back of that contact on A, right? So absolutely can't fault Zoms for trying to find something in there, but that's what I'm looking for G2, is remaining composed, keeping that structure and formation on the defensive half.
They could overwhelm here so easily, though. Yeah, there it is. That's the problem. There it is,
Oh my word.
Welcome to NA Valorant, boys. It hits different out here. That's an op now gone. They've got the site to themselves. Keep in mind, Shaz was holding that rotation too. They're going to be so aware of where people are. Shaz can now get that spike plant. They're going to be getting the res back up. It's all 5 standing now against 3. And this is just panic stations galore. Look at this play coming out. Dapper is just a rock for this side. And you had no right getting this round, but it looks like it's theirs unless Coldamenta wants to clutch this one out. A 1v3 now presented. And he's got to get this done, but it ain't easy. And it's not going to happen. Dapper and Sentinels. What a way to turn it around.
And this is the problem. You talk about the composure for G2. You give Sentinels an inch, they will take...
To get in their heads.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the key thing here is we're really... Yes, they were tested the other day versus F4Q, but G2 now have to prove to us that they're able to innovate and adapt on the fly, because Sentinels are one of the quickest to pivot one way or the other. And again, all credit to Shazam on that front in terms of the in-game leadership, but take a look at this round now. Sentinels much slower in approach. 3 over towards A main here. Spike sat comfortably with Zoms, and Kellogg's with a Blade Storm, actually. But not given anything. Sentinels are anticipating. G2 pushing forward, making the most of this lesser purchase, but Kellogg's will be forced back now. Shazam creeping ever closer towards Nuki. Might get caught there, actually. Damn, a rare miss from him.
Well, uncharacteristic, but Tens has still been let off the leash. Shaz still watching for that reaggress, catches it too. Nuki. Sentinels are just too aware of this, and Tens has followed Coldamenta comfortably. This is looking like they're trying to find those little gaps in the approach, and they're just not being presented. Shazam's like, well, I've seen what you're up to, I get the idea, but it's not happening here, boys. A 4v1 of Over and a Spectre.
I mean, I've over no real option but to try and find an exit here, but expect Sentinels to be in place to greet him wherever he decides to show his face. Not even really tested on the way in there. And again, this is the immediate response based on Kellogg's obviously creeping a little further down mid. That information is relayed by Zoms, and right away they're positioned. See where we'll find Tenzir and an upgrade for himself, but,
yeah, but look
Sentinels will probably want to remove this from him.
I don't know how strong the economy is right now for Sentinels. I didn't actually take note of that. So I wonder how much they're willing to chase this down and get it out of his hands. I see 2 of them already exiting, getting far away, so they should be safe enough. Maybe just leaving 1 to chase. Actually, Evova's just fine. So yeah, no real threats beyond that. Rifle should be kept on either side. Yeah, so Op still in play for Shaz as well. So Zoms and Shaz keeping hold of that so they can at least keep that economy nice and healthy, kind of filtering that back through. And G2, well, clutching at straws here. A bit of a shocker for Mixwell as a start. Not normally something we often say or see. He's normally a bit of a rock for the side, bit of that safe pair of hands, but he's been a little absent thus far.
Yeah, and the thing I want to see from G2 here is them become a little more decisive, a little more proactive with some of this early territory control, because A-main's effectively being given up right now, and Sentinels are able to sit there, and the problem with Dapper doing this wall every single round, sitting behind it, there's that constant paranoia builds of how many people are stacked up behind that.
Okay, let's see how brave you're going to get, because we've seen the difference of when Kellogg's is having a good performance too, something that he's not had a chance to yet, really. Nuki's been doing quite nicely at holding through here, but this time he's got Shaz working up with the op. Oh, this is bursty as well. Hold on, this is going to be real pacey. Tens, man. Who needs any further flashes when you've got him and that Lear? Sick has his back, but it's Avova to isolate the first. Capitalized on the second, and it ain't over yet. G2 still holding strong, but Shazam is the only one to find success, and that's in middle. So now look what remains, Shazam and Dapper. And if G2, if you fumble this one, you're going to be in the bin for it. But Dapper's going to take the time to maybe investigate a little deeper. Say, Shaz, hold on, give me a sec. I'm going to work. Let me get some work done. Because keep in mind, I don't think Kellogg's is going to be considering this for a second or two. There's going to be that internal clock. Wow, he's actually already thinking about it. Dapper. Yeah, well done, Kellogg's. Great decision making there. And G2 actually hold it down. I saw a world there where Sentinels were about to slice them apart. I
think, again, Dapper going a little deeper than he maybe should have. I'd love to play with the Viper's Pit, throw down a little distraction on site, try and find that kill within spawn, but at the point you're walking towards stairs, you got to think maybe there's a possibility they're tucked in there, trying to maintain this spike control. But just coming back to this Kellogg's point, we talk about the composition here, and the other day what we called into question was kind of that support system behind Kellogg's, right? How do we enable him? How do we get him online? And this here, I mean, what does he have? It's the operator. It's almost kind of this. He has to be self-sufficient.
I want to see if he gets punished this time because he's been going for this peak a couple of times now. Shaz is looking for, I guess, something out this way. Maybe starting to read into this, but look who's around the corner. Mixwell, are you trying to find an angle on that? This is just pixels apart here. The spray, it's not beautiful, but it does find intended target. Shaz, though, this man's on a mission. Take down Heaven Control. Can't quite get it that time, though. Nuki, once again, steadfast. Holds Heaven. Look at that spike.
Yeah, my eyes go straight towards over here. Obviously, Sick does have that wall to get himself safe passage. And that's it, the Cosmic Divide going to come up as well. Just to make absolutely sure elsewhere, Nuki will find 10s, but again, it's just to allow Sick and Zoms access to B site here. Over tucked up behind, and Goldamenta in hell. Now a 2v4. Ultimate's available for G2 as well.
Yeah, plenty to work with here.
Placing sentry.
Now we wait patiently for that playback through. They're already quite close here, G2 just around this corner. Sick and Zoms. One back site, one towards main. The first challenge. It falls, no trade. Kellogg's is going to go down. There's nothing more. It's Nuki. Great round from Nuki there, and a couple of the others chiming in well, but I've got to say it, between, in my mind, Avova and Nuki right now, we have the pillars that are keeping G2 competitive in this.
Yeah, and again, I mean, Avova is synonymous with playing that anchor role, and time again, he's able to bail G2 out. But in this series, he's really going to be tested, right? And we've seen it a couple of times now. Sentinels, they're testing the water, they're dipping the toes elsewhere, and they have...
Stop. Maybe get a Red Bull instead. Way better. But for now, we jump back through to this and have to see where we left off. The money has been humbled for Sentinels.
Sick with the Spectre here. Again, Sentinels going to focus their efforts towards mid. And actually, nobody even hold this. Nuki going to be called upon here, but Sick actually finds the opener here. Response from G2's got to be fast. There's only 2 more players here to defend. Mixwell actually missing that orb onto Hell. I expect that was the intended. What's down available? That's it. Yeah, there's only 1 member towards B main here. The alarm bot's going to spot that out if Dapper decides to push on through. Sentinels now, they found a kill.
Yeah,
trying to spread the foot. Look at Kellogg's though.
I'm waiting to see if Shazam can start exploiting any rotations as well. Just talk about the ult coming through there. That would be Killjoy popping theirs down. Avova looking to maybe open up an avenue of keeping control if needed. Capitalize on this. Time bought. Res came in.
A lot invested into this round though, considering Tens has got the upgrade now. You got Nuki just with the showstopper, no main weapon, and he's going to get absolutely ripped apart there. Shazam finds the opener. Mixwell will trade it out. Sentinel look to pile on the pressure.
Yeah, they do. Mixwell isn't alone here. Goldamenta apparently had his back. What is Sentinels doing? How are they converting some of these rounds potentially? There's 3 now left. Great work from Zombs. We didn't expect the follow-up from Avova. Now a 3v2. Up in the hands of Kellogg's and Avova with the rifle. But the site is completely under wraps by Sentinels. Post-plant now, 2 rifles collected, put into the hands of Tens. Dapper, Sick, all just fine. Tens going to put himself as the tip of the spear to swing if needed. As Kellogg starts to maybe have a little look around, start his foray into this. Avova just starting to lean through, and Tens caught 1. And now Kellogg's, yeah, run as much as you might. They're not going to let you leave. Sentinels! This is twice now. This is twice now this has happened on weaker buys that G2 have just been slowly suffocated.
And that's
G2's mental is being tested here. Sentinels, there is never not a round that they're just not a danger, not a threat. They'll find something, they'll work for something, and this is that rude awakening. But it's still a decent half if G2 get maybe 5. I'd say it's manageable on 4, but it's tough. And for now, Mixwell gets that first touch of damage as we wait and see what happens here.
Feeling safe.
we'll try and actually get up. Ramp takes a lot of damage on the back of the snake bite and a bit of spam through that poison orb as well, but 3 members of G2 hit against Spike, just completely the other way. This is an attempt for Sentinels to pull rotations, and it's working perfectly. Shazam swings out once again. Has to retreat though. Now it's just one man. It's Avova in position to try and hold down B. As soon as this hit doesn't come through, I want to see G2 moving, but look at them. They're stuck. They're all trying to, they're trying to control A site when there's nothing there. It's the wall from Dapper that's keeping them.
All right, Avova, what have you got for us? You have every player coming your way. You are in danger, you are under threat, and you're dead. Shazam, he doesn't need to see you to find you. He puts him to bed. Kisses him goodnight and says, see you in the next half. But 3 now stand. Coldamenta, Nookie, Mixwell. Spike now planted. And they have the way to work back in. They have so little information on this side of the map as well, playing back in from that A side. Shazam, happy to look towards heaven as well. Look for that drop down from rafters. Coldamenta is up there. Then it'll be sick. Gets the first option to follow up. It's going to be 10 supporting him. And now just old Nookie, and they know where he is, and they're going to start hunting him down. Nookie, though, denies for now. For time, Hypoc, it's starting to dwindle down. He's got 3 more to find. This feels almost impossible.
It is absolutely impossible here. Nookie has to find another one before the way in, but Zoms will stop that from happening. Sentinels will close out 8-4 on the half, and nothing short of clinical in my eyes. Again, those 2 thrifty rounds stick out in my mind where G2 looking a little rattled. Again, to throw so much in terms of investment back into that round and it go the way it did, that's a killer.
It is. It's going to be a bit of a mental block as well.
Win this.
We're going to find out right about now. 8-4, Sentinels very much in the lead, but now it's the turn of G2 to breathe the aggressors. And speaking of, Kellogg's first man forward, joined by Nookie, takes out Sick, and it's quick. He's going to keep on going forward, and Zoms, back of sight, somehow manhandles 2. The third, not too far for him. But the sight just precariously in control. Kellogg's, it wasn't pretty, but he gets the job done. That's 3 for him this round, and now a 3v2. Dapper and Shazam. And Shaz has found a little bit of timing to this.
Got ahead of Avova.
Hold on. Shazam, if he can find this on his own, that spike plant now denied. Avova catches the rotation, and now the fight is going to be between Shazam and Avova. Shazam, you're a nasty, nasty player right now in the 1v1. Kellogg's has already found 3, and it's to save it. Shazam! Just breaking hearts.
My God. Shazam with the Red Bull clutch in the pistol round and has absolutely no business doing that. Avova drifts back, anticipating that flank, and for a moment, Nookie is left absolutely exposed.
Often, it's the old Thanos thing of I just don't even know who you are. You're looking at these two, G2's making all these, social posts, trying to pump it up. You need some results to have a rivalry, and right now at 9-4 after that pistol. Uphill time now. G2 just being put in the blender. Shaz wants to free farm, get those knives coming out nice and early, and he's going to do it again. Flawless Prime Gaming. Sponsors love this team.
Definitely getting their quota from this matchup. Again, yeah, we're going to come in now. Obviously, a good opportunity for Sentinels to make use of carrying across all this weaponry from the previous, but G2 have to dig deep. The mentals being, got to reconsider their approach. Actually, seeing now on the minimap, you can see the Sick and 10s looking a little feisty in mid.
There you go.
10s all the way to bottom mid already.
He might be going walkabouts. 10s unleashed. Avova seems cognizant that there's a chance that someone's had a bit of a walk down middle, and it's his job to try and keep control of that timing while the others explore those extremities. It's not an easy job. You can see Nookie, every angle could contain that threat, but it's Zoms. At the top by Ramp, still with Spectres. This is the bonus. And it's already got a kill. That's lovely work from him. Couldn't convert on a second. That's a little bit out of reach, but already a trade effectively is not bad.
10 still posted, and Sentinel's actually able to lean away from this now. Dapper going to be called upon. I think maybe just spotting actually on that jump. He did actually, yeah. Kellogg's going to walk right through the snake by both of them, but Mixwell will close down the kill. They have control of B site now. Look how quickly the flank comes through though. Coldamenta still posted outside A main. No information here. He's effectively lost in this lurk right now. Sentinels could find a straight 3v3 if they're quick about this retake.
See it. Tens quickly on it. Gets the tag, not the frag. Sick though, follows up well. That's Savova now gone. 3v2. And now a double stack towards that CT side is going to make it tricky for Shaz to find a clean entry. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Mixwell, good catch on that. Sick has got himself an upgrade here. So that's one. And Kelix is now on red alert. A little worried, but Coldamenta's got his back. There it is, G2. Keeping in this one, 10-5.
3 kills for Sentinels though. Will keep the economy honest, even though they're able to turn around back in their favour. I don't think Kellogg's is onto that Blade Storm just yet. So can't even drop a weapon across really. Nuki on the Judge. A Spectre for Avova. Mixwell will be able to get the Vandal. Shazam Blade Storm already online with those first 2 rounds. Zombs as well with the Cosmic Divide available. But again, it's look at this complete denial here by Dapper's utility again. Poison Orb will go over main. The thing is now they can use Zom's utility effectively, reactively, right? As soon as G2 shows something, they have that audible possibility.
And this can only go on for so long. They don't have much to catch any flanks. They don't have a default. This has a time limit on it, and they're going to have to go soon enough. And it's going to be right about now. Kellogg's on in. Nuki to follow him. Mixwell not far behind. The site is going to be theirs. This is postured for a retake almost instantaneously, but Dapper down a little ahead of the spike plant, so it's not too bad. 6 aim is sharp today. Kellogg's feels the brunt of it as we already have Nuki going walkabouts, but the problem is you got Zoms ready and waiting. They're reading you like a book. They're about to close this chapter if you don't pick up the pace. Look at this. Sick just walks back in. This is my site. Get out. 11-5.
Absolutely clinical from Sentinels. They allow G2 to enter. They give all this space up because the protocols are in place. The contingency is there to make sure they never relinquish this site control. Nuki finds all this space, but he's got a Judge. If anything, he goes a little too deep. At the point where he's got control of that spawn elbow here on B, just sit there. It's actually crazy to the Sentinels absolutely flawless right now in everything they're setting up to do.
It truly is a treat to watch. I don't care what region you're from, who you're a fan of. Sentinels looking in form, looking like they're picking back up from Reykjavik, but still early doors. Best of 3 here, only the first map if you're just tuning in. This was Sentinel's choice, no surprise to the G2 fans. You know, this is not normally within the wheelhouse, and we are seeing obviously a weaker purchase. One rifle, the hero rifle on Coldamenta. Shazam. Oh God, they line up. Don't make him just ring the bell. That's 2 easy frags. Make it a 3rd. He's putting on a show. Make it so easy. He looks so comfortable. And the last 2, not really a threat right now.
Nuki's still bottom mid. Sheriff in hand. Paint still available, but again, at this point, there's no real value in doing any damage to the economy of Sentinels. Spam comes through from Shazam. Coldamenta will find one, but don't expect Sentinels now to be over-peaking on this. Oh, he's just swallowed the barrel there. Yeah, another freebie.
Man.
The 4th for Shazam. Is he good for the ace? Little eco farm just to close things out.
There it is. Anything they can't do right now?
No. No, I don't think there is. I mean, Sean brought up a perfect one, and it's that word protocols, right? It's yeah.
They're just having fun. That's terrifying.
Go for a listen-in, maybe? Or
So don't take this one, but it is 12-5 to G2. Let's get it, boys. Get ready for that next map otherwise. Icebox is on the horizon after this. That would be G2's pick. But right now, Sentinels have sent more than a message. They want to create that dynasty they were talking about. This would be a good first step. Clean start in the groups. Well, opening nade. Tens going to be suffering off the back, but doesn't really yield. Has to be forced to kneel by Coldamenta. And the space gets taken, or does it? Shazam waiting, always so patient. But the flank coming out from Kellogg's could be good, but the timing's even better for Shaz. There's the trade, though. Nuki's got him. Puts him back. Zoms back site now. He's got 4 players coming his way. 1 left, 1 right, 1 up top. They're just about everywhere, and he can't deal with all those angles. Too many to find as Dapper. Your last one, a little further out. You ever heard the story of the 1v5?
I don't think I want to. Nah. I've seen enough already.
You seen enough? All right. Well, Dapper going to give it his best shot. No reason not to. Up through those vents, but he's being watched. Kellogg's eyes trained on it. And he's going to at least get the reward from that. 12-6. It's going to be a mountain to climb to come back into this one, though.
It is indeed. And the thing is, you look at that round and it's an anomaly, right? It's very rare that you're able to get into a position where you can overwhelm Sentinels. And that's what I feel happened there. This comes back to the same thing, right? You've got to become innovative in the ways that you can be able to achieve the same thing here. Kellogg's, a couple of nice kills there, but
we need
again,
consistency, man. We need it across the board.
Exactly. You need him to be doing that every single round. Every single round.
Yo, nice shot, bro. Yo, nice shot. Nice shot, bro.
Cool. Just completely unfazed.
Oh, it just doesn't make you feel good, and that star is going to be making Chaz smile like the Cheshire Cat. Already 2 big stars. Zom's like, well, look, we'll let you have a nice couple of rounds. James feeling good. We're going to shut it down. Sentinels just flexing, flawlessly closing out in that final round.
I mean, look at that. It's going to be difficult here for him to find value. For me, I look towards Nuki. Nuki has to be the playmaker here for G2. I'll wait and see how that goes off. Zoms, a couple of shots back and forth, actually. Oh, G2 had sent any utility over, but with 3 members stacked up here along lane. Zoms not even entertaining it. We'll give up the space initially. Sick in position as well. Nuki on the other side here. We'll find Shazam and 10's there also.
Yeah, this is potentially tradable on the A side, but we have to look towards the actual site hit that is starting to come on through. So this is going to be starting building up. Tens has found Nuki, so there was that trade over towards A, but the spike is going to be going down on the other side. So that's now planted. Kellogg's, can he slip just behind enemy lines? No, but he can find a... Well, I thought it was a decent fight, but Zoms is still fighting the good fight for Sentinels. It's a 3v3 post plant, and G2 aren't in bad spots here. Mixwell, Coldamenta, and Avova still standing, and Mixwell wants to retake that space towards that yellow. Maybe see if anyone's going to slip on through. He's seen enough. That's just a little too much shown. And Mixwell, this is the Mixwell you need to start seeing if you're a G2 fan. There he is. The land beast himself finally starting to wake up here. Good beginnings and maybe a bounce back. Map 1 was not good for Mixwell. This could be much better.
Good opportunity to check in now. Can they handle the anti-eco? That was such a prominent issue on map 1. Again, yes, tick in the box. Pistol round 1, but again, expect Sentinels to come out swinging in this next round. Potentially go a little more aggressive than we'd expect, but I'm looking towards G2 to be able to handle that. What do they put in place here? Nuki again in that previous round, out on an island. He's in that lurking role on the Raze. Did find a kill, but was traded out. So this is a key round here.
Yeah, we have what? 3-4 players towards A for the Sentinel side. You do have an upgraded, if only slightly, 10s as well. Sheriff just tucked away, light armor as well. There's a follow-up peek, but is Nuki well and truly aware? So he catches Shazam, and he knows there may be more. The timing might be just tickling away at the back of his brain, but look at this. Spike's on the way, and he's going to fall away from that. This is all going to be G2s. There is a player deep, but they wouldn't be able to deny the spike plant at this point.
Well, initially, looking pretty good for G2. No pressure comes through. Nuki's still out here again. Did get a little information on the back of his boombot, but everybody from Sentinels already making their way towards B. Zom's already up on side. Ten's actually going to try and make his way back from Snowman. Actually, the counter wall comes up. Create a little pocket. Nuki will find Sick in transition.
Clean.
So will respond as well on site. Yeah, just a couple more to deal with. Actually, down right underneath, he might find a consolation. Thank God for that one. Yep, 22 HP now.
Revealing area.
What, is he just making sure he got the kill
Just
there?
the recon bolt is just to make sure nobody else is up on
There, you're
Q.
right. There could have been another player there.
Yeah.
Spot on.
It's quite common to see a second just tucked up the top there.
Just crouched.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, no BM here, folks.
Talk about consolation. Actually, the consolation is sending a message as well after the kill comes through.
Of course. For those who don't understand sarcasm, you're going to have a rough time here. However, 2-0, this is a good start for G2. It's maybe just a little bit of a confidence boost. Now, bear in mind, some of these players are younger. We spoke about Kellogg's a lot, and he is one of those younger players who do need a little bit of that maybe confidence builder here.
Well, buy round here, looking for Sentinels to adjust slightly on A, right? And again, the indicators are in place. See if Nuki can again find...
Rifle on Mixwell. Nuki has got a tough challenge. It's just deal with 10s. Mark your man. And he's got Shaz on that side too. Now he's only got a Sheriff. This isn't pretty. He's played this position a fair amount. Same again, but now you can see TenZ has closed the gap this time. Creeping slowly. Does Nookie even consider this possibility? It doesn't look like he has. This looks like a murder scene. Oh, he's heard all the steps here. TenZ is in the prime position, sees one, actually falls away. Doesn't outstay his welcome. Boombot comes in and Complimenta.
It's a big trade.
Great trade in. There's a Mixwell's right up mid. Catching sick, and now this is getting a bit of a problem. Shaz is on an island. The other two players for Sentinels are not here. But Shazam, ice cold, waiting patiently, and has to play this out to perfection. Can't do it. keloqz has got his number, and there it is. Site's now open for business, and this could be a huge round for G2 to convert here in the bonus.
Dapper and Zoms
Here.
trying to get something done on the way back in. keloqz will actually fall. A little overzealous there, trying to
Spike planted.
hold on to control there, but Complimenta trades it back out. Nookie follows up. Zoms will fall. G2 go 3 up.
There we go. They're getting fired up, High Park. Here we go.
I was going to say, interested to see actually, even still the hesitation there, and both rounds previously actually, I think both TenZ and Shazam have shown presence, right? So they know that officially, I guess, that default is both members being present. Even after they find the kill onto TenZ, they're still very hesitant. They wait for the owl drone, and that's actually a big positive, right? And obviously G2 slipping up and making some of these mistakes where Sentinels are always going to have that contingency in place.
And I love this. You could just see Shazam probably talking through how is Nookie still, maybe getting away with this, the presence out there, the swing around on it, like everything that's just happened to them, they're probably a little frustrated by. That's not something we often see. Sentinels, they're normally calm, very collected. Nookie, again, this is his job, this is his duty. He was born to do this, apparently. But he still has two of arguably the best brains and best aims to handle on the other side, and there's the brain removed from one. Shaz is gone. The wrists still in place for TenZ, but he's going to have to deal with that and back away. On the other side, however, Zoms getting ready, sick. Has he been played in on this, though? Do they know this? Do they check on it? How much can he do with it? Mixwell catching Dapper. And for now, player advantage to G2, and they want to keep it that way. They've got the rifles, and this can get very scary, but look at this position. This is nastiness. Nookie, so many angles to clear. Oh, the first wasn't clean enough for that, TenZ. And again, step by step, they're clearing this out methodically.
All right, so once again, cautious in their approach. Sick really up towards rafters. And D2 not overstepping the mark. Methodically clear through here. Nookie actually still catches sight of Sick ahead of time. Actually, some more damage comes through, and Nookie will find the kill. It's third on the round now. Spike will go down. Fantastic work from G2 there, and that's the sort of round that we were concerned about from map 1, right? Lauren, again, Nookie in position, effectively taking a 1v2 every single round versus TenZ and Shazam. And that's a statement in itself. So, again, looking towards Nookie to be the power player here and already delivering in the first 4 rounds. Thing is, I got to say it, even in those rounds, Sentinels need to kind of stop challenging him at these range, because Nookie's going to do this every single time. And if they give him a kill, it's going to spread Sentinels across the map. It's going to create an opening, which G2 were incapable of doing on the previous map.
But this could be something that they've maybe identified, that if they can tame Sentinel's ability to take this deep space, which they're still vying for. Shaz, though, on the off, though, is going to be the difference maker. Going to get it, but there's a trade. No! Gets out with his life. 10 still posted up in position. Tries to fall away off the back of the Lear and leaves Dapper in a little bit of a corner. Nookie pries him out of it. G2 still on the move here, 4v4. How much more can they pressure this? Shaz on the backlines and TenZ. He's just waiting around this corner. Shaz is watching this, just eagle eyes from up above. TenZ gets aggressive! Rings the bell, finds 2. Nookie and Avova gone as Mixwell now a 1v4 beckoning, and it ain't happening. Sick with a good closer. Sentinels on the board.
A comfortable response there. First round on the board for them, and again, it's those rounds that Sentinels are willing to do so. With the operator online, they know that they have this advantageous first peek, and Shazam gets himself into the position there to stop keloqz on the cross, even towards pipes.
Yeah.
Again, showstopper completely negated. Desperate for that trade, TenZ comes through with 2 crispy headshots.
It's nice seeing that aim.
Actually, this first ultimate cycle looking pretty good for G2. Complimenta one away from the Hunter's Fury. Nookie obviously investing the showstopper in the previous. Everything else available here. keloqz probably going to try this double updraft here to deal with Zombs. Actually did get revealed there.
Here we go.
Does go up to catch it. No, Shazam! We'll find Complimenta actually on that B lane peak.
He's everywhere. He just shown presence to A that prior round. Now he's over here, keeping himself very viable, but Zombs gets picked off, and that's going to force Shazam in a bad position. Mixwell's pressure through mid, now catches that rotation, that fallback, but Sick now on the site. He needs to live up to that name. keep control of this. Support's on the way. They've re-garnered that space in middle. Tens is the one there. Who needs knives when you got a rifle like that? Ten's happy to fall back now. He's done his job. But now G2, where do they take this?
Ten's already hightailing it over. Actually going to get himself into a position on barrel, so G2 have to be disciplined. To be diligent on the way in here, because again, Ten's will always put himself in this one and done spot. That dismiss. And the Vova actually kind of solo pushing right now.
Off angles and Tens. Yeah,
too
sounds about right for a disaster. Ten's going to readjust now. Still pressure comes in. Nuki on the flyby.
Hey.
Going to put it down. It's still a 2v2 here. Keep in mind, Coldamenta has his ult. Nuki, I mean, he's just got a gun and that's normally enough. He's been pulling off 1v2s, but look at this retake positioning from Sentinels. Right around the back, and actually Dapper's quite far ahead here. He's made some good progress. And timing is everything. Coldamenta hasn't considered it until now. Dapper is right next to him. Clears the right side. He's on the left. Coldamenta holds him back as sick. The next step forward finds him, and now it's a 1v1. Nuki has been god tier over on this side of the map. But Six a bit of a legend himself. Taps the spike, falls away, looks for that pixel out of place, looks for Nuki, and Nuki finds him! This scoreline is starting to look real good for G2.
That's actually crazy. They trade headshots and Nuki with just 10 HP remaining, but again, great recovery here. I had a major problem with the Vova peeking ahead of the Aldo, and I think Coldamenta actually had his recon bolt available as well, so lucky they're able to still comfortably set up on site there, because again, expect Tens to do that. He finds that kill in mid straight away. He's the anchor. He's the contingency plan on that entire pressure that's created by G2 on B main. And again, yes, finds the first, gets traded out, but expect him to do that every single time. If he trades, it's fine for Sentinels.
Not forcing a tactical timeout yet. Sentinel's still happy to keep going at this. Maybe this is a reason why. Labored from both sides. It's a little weird, but it will be Shaz to find Mixwell. So mid's now open and eyes now removed from watching maybe a push-up. And it looks like the stack's already coming out here. They're well aware. Deeper wall as well. Very interesting to see that one up here. G2 falling slowly away from this.
I think the Viper's bit definitely going to make them
Shaz.
reconsider. Shazam actually got the cut off on this rotation as well.
If they try and step across this, it's such a hard angle to clear. He could be getting away with being the guillotine, and there's 3 players around this corner. That's one. It's only one. A second's difference in Coldamenta may have gotten that kill, but he's quick. And now it's a 4v3. Coldamenta, Nuki, and Kellogg's. The death ball now going roaming.
Take flight.
Again, res available. I'm not sure actually how feasible it is with Shazam dying on top of Tube, so you can see G2 actually pausing for a moment here. And whether or not the awareness is that Sentinels potentially try and get that back.
Oh, I like this. If they catch some rotations here, you're going to have
30
what?
seconds left.
Sova can just keep drawing their attention over towards A, right? Make a bit of noise, see if maybe they can catch some of these players, but you can see that intuition, maybe making them question this, and there it is, already going to find the bigger. Nuki's now gone down. Do they expect a second kill? Oh, it's good spray adjust, but the trades are so effective here for Sentinels. They've kept themselves in the right positions.
10
and what does
seconds
Coldamenta get to do with this? Spikes deep in enemy territory, 6 seconds left. Have a little go for it, not going to happen. Well done to Sentinels, kept composure there, kept everything in check, and Shazam, lovely play up middle.
Yeah, beautiful. And again, you got to credit G2 for being stacked up there, where Shazam can't get away with another, actually. He finds the first. Mixwell in the rattiest spot I think we'll see all day.
So ratty.
But again, look at Sentinels, the Aldron just paving the way for Shazam to walk through there, find all that space in the early round, and ultimately it gives Sentinels a really good read on, I think, where G2 want to end up. Yeah. At least plan A.
Yeah, it gave them great intention with that. Now, looking at the money though, considering it was what? A pretty commanding scoreline. The money hasn't swelled for G2. A lot of these rounds have been kept up. And Hunter's Fury right off the rip. Now, I don't know if they actually did get a tag. It doesn't matter. It set Tens into motion. Maybe able to get a little closer off the back of the audio cues, knowing that you can push a little bit deeper, as they're going to be having to respect that. And he's already made great work of it. Finding Nuki is the perfect target to pick up.
Especially with the work he's been doing towards Belt on A. No res available, so G2 will proceed as 4. Shazam and Tens on the other side of this once again, and look at the focus towards mid, actually. Is Aldron going to come through? I don't know, we'll spot Tens actually tucked up on second level of sight. He's at risk of being wallbanked here, but nothing comes through.
No, he's still fine. He's still alive. He's got Dapper kind of having his back here. Wall goes in, wants to at least give himself a chance at a gap here, but he's been chipped away at. Now Dapper gonna pick up that mantle. Good damage towards Kellogg's, but he does manage to keep his life. 10 still living in the depths here, unable to quite pop into this, and there's the ult coming out as a response.
G2 fantastic control on site, actually.
Brilliant.
Big swing and a miss. Avova will get the better of him there, and Avova finds a second as well. Sick will fall.
Yeah, now the last three, where are they at? We've got a couple, or at least one coming around on the flank. That's Shazam. Goldamenta up in towards Nest. It's Kellogg's to find 10, so now down to just 2. Zom's down noted, now spotted, does get Kellogg's, but in the meantime, Shaz lost life, and it will be an unfavorable situation for Zoms, and they're going to have to suck it up. G2 are right back into this. That's going to be 6-2 on the board, Hypog. Have we actually got a game on our hands now?
I mean, it's looking that way. This is a fantastic start from G2 and looking so much better equipped, way more composed in this. Than, again, you can say they're not making as many mistakes, but I just think back to that round with Shazam in mid. G2 stacked up to mitigate that risk. That's something we just didn't see on Split at all.
You're right. Yeah, this does look like a different side. Haven would be the last, if I'm not mistaken. So
Correct.
I'm getting a little ahead of myself. It's only the first half here. Don't worry, I'm getting a little excited because we actually might have a game here. We might see Sentinels pushed. Because map 1, I mean, if you're not actually, you know, completely hooked on the Copium and Hopium, you're going to be able to see that was a very Sentinels-dominated map. But this is a whole new lease of life to G2. Looking like some Nookie controlling that push-up consistently, setting a tone for the entire match. Shaz and Tens are now like, well, I guess I'm on Nookie duty. Great. I'm going to have to deal with this every single time. And he will do this every single time. Maybe he doesn't do it one round. Fair enough. They're still going to have to expect him to be there. And now at this point, G2 actually leaning this way. The purchase coming out from Sentinels. 1 rifle and 10s. The rest, a little shaky, but we saw map 1. That was still able to do damage on Split.
I love this. The way that G2 have to approach this now, it's just stack us 4. Hey, hopefully they can't get us all, right? Whether it be Tens or Shazam on the other end, but let's see. Nookie going to send the paint shell across the back. Kellogg's getting very deep towards server here. Shazam will fall, actually. Dapper tagged up by that Owl drone. Be a comfortable plant here. Not an awful lot, really, for Sentinels to get back in. Actually, the recon bolt will find 2 tags.
Yeah, it was actually really well done, but bear in mind, the weaponry that came in with Sentinels was limited. 10 still going to do some work, though. 35 HP was on. Back on up, still sitting pretty now. A 1v3 beckons. It's not going to happen. Goldamenta denies, and G2 starting to stride through this game. They've got some answers here. Where is that tactical timeout? Where is the conversation for Sentinels? Or do they not care that much about this one? Maybe they feel, it's only the first half.
So, again, if there's any win condition we could take away from previous performances, it's the Sentinels at least keep them in check here in the first half.
They've got to get the last 3 if I think, you know, Sentinels need a buffer. 2 is not enough for me. I'll never get bare minimum 3, or I'm thinking it's a runaway. Now let's see what Sentinels can do there. They're back on the buy, and Shaz has the op. Now we saw the last time around, you know, the ult pushing up middle. That was so decisive. Could do with a bit of that here, because right now G2 have him by the scruff of the neck. Someone's with a little jump peek. Shaz off to the side, waiting for maybe that jump peek on the other side to come around. While this happens, we see that little bit of a step towards middle, but not too much. This is the start that G2 wants, just to make sure they keep everything in check. No early giveaways, no easy reads here. They bide their time. I'm wondering if Mixwell's there purely off the back of the success that maybe they had off Shaz or someone pushing up mid. This is an interesting little read from them here. Nookie showing, I'm still here. You have no idea where we're heading.
But this is great. Again, just giving that away, and it's up on the platter. Nookie's happy to face that Owl drone to give away that information. Shazam actually misses the first sign, finds the second. But look, Nookie's so commanding right now. He's keeping 3 players from Sentinels locked onto a site. Avova does have the res.
You will
try and
not
get this.
kill my allies.
Back up, yeah, we'll just be behind the wall. Shazam can't punish that.
Where's that mid lurk? It's Mixwell who's looking to maybe crack this open. If he can catch the 2 players rotating, that would be perfect. Let's see what Mixwell can do here, though. He has to catch this one. There it is. Great work from him. And now the other 3 from Sentinels are on an island, but it is 3, and one of them is Tens. Probably one of the best in the world just on the other side of this. And there he is waiting, Dapper by his side. Guns locked and loaded, 10 seconds. It looks like G2 have run out of time, run out of options, and run out of players. There's the bare minimum. I wanted to see 3 at least here for Sentinels now.
That's so interesting to see as well. Like I said, Nuki faces the owl drone. He's happy to let Sentinels know that he's there, but Sentinels do not falter. Again, Mixwell finds that kill, like you said, and it doesn't even impact the rest of the round because there's no rotation factor. There's already 3 bodies stacked up there. So it's interesting, really. I mean, you can argue G2 kind of victims of their own success there, where Sentinels just like, there's a possibility, Nuki's still going to find a kill, and they're going to try and collapse and end up on A.
Go again, the aggression. Are they going for it again? Nuki. This checklist has worked against Sentinels. Oh, okay, he's got a good idea. Someone's close by. Reads it. Oh, Shaz. So dangerous between the two of them.
You can see the cogs turning there for Nuki. It's like, a Boombo's seen something. It's seen something close.
Kellogg's this time looking to punish. He peeks a little deeper, but it's actually Mixwell being caught in mid is the first blood drawn. Six going to catch that, as Kellogg's is now going to at least take that long control. After maybe noting that Shaz is over somewhere else towards A, they can actually build up on this, but still no easy way through. Nuki this time now, starting to work towards middle himself.
There.
He stuck behind this wall for the time being. G2 not going to wait on that to come down, actually. And Zoms will find the spike carrier.
Down, B.
Kellogg's unable to trade initially and will get revealed by the recon bolt, so has to back away. The spike in control of Sentinels right now.
That's the big one again, now more time. Last time the frag came in through middle so late.
No.
Oh, that's a bit uncomfortable. Maybe could have done more with that, and now he's feeling a little silly, but can he still make it work? Yeah, it looks good! Nuki does find Dapper, but now it's just gonna be Nuki! Oh my word, 2 more though, Nuki. Do you still have it in ya? Rez comes in, he can't get it done. Tens keeps Sentinels on a level field in that round. That was about to get so dangerous.
It's so unfortunate for Nuki on that page. So the fact that it gets stuck in the door frame, if that just bounces out, I think it forces Sick into a bit more of an open position, potential for him to fall there, and ultimately, Nuki a huge opportunity to just swing out with that showstopper. Those 2 seconds effectively altered the entire outcome of that round.
Okay, up again for Shaz.
Actually, the G2 purchase here, obviously, final round, but Spectre's
not
got
pretty.
a Mixwell on the only rifle here.
Oh dear. Here we go, Nuki. Oh, Nuki! He's just leapt into the arms and he's got the frag onto Shaz. But where's the rest? There they are. Kellogg's picks up the pace just as Nuki left off. And it's a 4v3. Dapper, Sick and Zoms are baffled, scratching their head. Sick can't quite adjust the spray well enough on the second. And now 2-stand. Dapper and Zoms fired up, trying to get that wall down for a quick bit of vision. But no one falls foul instantly. Zoms finds the first. Kellogg's. Oh, Zoms is nasty right now. The 1v1. Coldamenta, 8 bullets. Zoms on the other side. Coldamenta, he sees him, he gets him. It's G2 with a solid lead here.
That is not a scoreline I thought we would be looking at here in the first half of Icebox after seeing map 1, but what an insane tempo shift on that. And again, it's to capitalize on that weaker purchase, and it's executed perfectly by G2.
We've got a game. 8-4. Coming into this, locked and loaded with all the facts that they need. Now, second half though, 8-4. It's not impossible. And Sentinels are a team that can do these sort of gaps.
Yes, and I'm expecting them to, again, I use the phrase poke the beast, I'm expecting them to come out swinging in the second half. Set the precedent, set the tone, don't allow G2 to ride through this momentum. They need to stop this early in this half if they want to actually draw the game up and push things further.
Back underway. 8-4 if you're just tuning in. Map 1. Sentinels picked up in quite convincing fashion. However, map 2 here, G2's choice, sitting at 8-4 in the half. This time around, Sentinels now need to show what they're like in the driving seat here. Kellogg's real wide on that angle, but he does manage to make it out. That should be, though, Spike, make yourself towards the side.
Vova is straight down mid, though. He's going to find this 1v1 with Zoms, and actually Zoms going to win it. That's a big one. Kellogg's actually going to try and follow up on this. You can see, though, Zoms still wise to it. He finds a second now. All this control, G2 have to force their way onto site.
Yeah, and no one's letting that happen. Shaz is still looking for those angles, and it's Mixwell. 1v5, not gonna happen. A knife comes out.
Okay.
Can North America stop stepping Europe? It hurts.
Who else but Dapper? If we could have placed bets on anybody to get a knife kill on the stage here in Berlin, it's Dapper. Well, talk about stopping the momentum. A knife kill in the pistol round will do that, Lauren.
That'll
do it.
Yeah, that's the badger. Oh.
Soms, again, great awareness to find that first.
Oh,
just keep
just
forcing
the
the
booty
issue.
cheeks.
Oh,
Just
no.
too caked up. Couldn't help it. 8-5. Oh, dearie me. We go again. Sentinels, welcome to the build back plan. Bulldogs out and a couple of Spectres. Bulldog out, should I say, and a couple of Spectres as Tens taking the space over by B.
Early rotation here from G2. With over on yellow, going to relay that information. And actually, with Mixwell investing the wall, Sick will hit the rotate with the spike here. I think Dapper just going to send across a recon potentially. No, considering it. This is such an interesting read from Sentinel. Again, Shazam seeing nothing else on A. They've read this so well.
Incredible read intuition. Working out very nicely. Mixwell is still close enough to call them over, but they'll be so far ahead now. The site should be theirs. Looking for a clean round here. Sentinels. And G2, of course, looking to do whatever damage they can. They can take a couple of weapons away, do a bit of work. That'd be brilliant, but you can see them kind of fight up here. Tens and Shaz in the shutdown. And it's just Mixwell. It's a flawless round as well to boot. It's a Prime Gaming flawless round. And Sentinels have almost closed that gap. So that first buy round is going to be a big one here.
It is indeed. Again, great opportunity for Sentinels to push forward on a bonus. Effectively tie things up. I mean, they win this next one, they come within one round, they get the weapon upgrades. Decent early progress as well for Ultimates and 1-up potentially to come online in this next round. So that's the start you want. First two in the bag for Sentinels. You're going to heavy lean actually towards B here, and it's only Kellogg's to hold it down for G2.
Big job here. Not an easy one. Utility already coming through. Now he can actually rain death from... Oh, no.
Oh, no.
The timing. Timing. How is he alive? He's not for much longer. 24 HP just about makes out, and they want to capitalize. Look at them hounding him down straight in on that one. And the follow-up. Tens just runs down Coldamenta 2. This is problems now for G2. This is when they're clutching at straws. You're not feeling it now. Rifles left by the side. Nuki, though, picks up the pace and the pieces as Tens goes down, but the spike is planted.
3v3 Nuki up in top site here, but and Zom's controlling B main and in a position actually to use these snake bites. The lineup set up, Sick. Just needs to buy a little time here, a little bit of chip damage done, but the wall goes up. They're able to negate that straight away. Zoms finds one with a snake bite, Shazam finds the last. Sentinels convert the bonus 2.
They're so good at that. They're so good at these slightly weaker weapon rounds. They're so good at capitalizing on any of those errors.
I gotta say it, Kellogg's a little too deep for my liking to be out solo like that. He's out of range where his dash is really a you know, that backup plan to get out of jail free card. Again, the Aldrone comes through. If I'm Kellogg's, I am out of there.
Offski. Yeah.
Nice. Tyson, you know that's not my fault, bro.
Okay, no, don't say anything.
Look, we just want to listen in sometimes. It is a timeout now coming in. This is where you got to be very careful with the money, the economy, how this builds back up, the utility, how everything is working through. This is the alt economy even coming in. This is 3 on the trot now. I think he overstepped there, got a little punished for it. See if he can pull himself back up, get that head in the game again.
That's the big question, actually. As a confidence breaker, you don't want to see that so early on in this half for Kellogg's, because again, coming back online, and we've talked about already how G2 are able to build around him. It's a shame to see this snowball for them. Nuki this time going to pick up position on B main. 2 members of Sentinels actually just tucked down in towards Garage. Now, a much slower approach this time around. No utility other than the Aldrone invested here, and I don't think Nuki is spotted exactly where he is, but the boom bot and the paint shells, obviously, the presence is noted.
Yeah. Nuki is going to fall away from this one. Coldamenta still trying to work on something. Less to lose, I guess, in that regard. Bit of a tag. And actually, the re-aggress from Nuki.
Well, it's interesting. 3 bits of utility shown here. So actually, 3 members of G2 accounted for here in the early round.
And now the take on the space. Nuki is up top and loses the fight. Sick. Gets him, and there it is. Cracking open, that's all theirs. And the rest of the map becomes not necessarily irrelevant, but very far from the point. That spike can be ferried on over really easily now.
We've got to respect the wall here, and actually, Dapper looking for damage in between.
Nice.
Kellogg's actually finds him.
Spike planted.
Gonna swing out here. Sick low HP, but well, actually, yeah, Voba picks that one up actually.
It's just the rest, though. I just don't see them making errors, and of course, Ten's just sitting on an angle like that makes why there's no chance in hell. Sentinels, 8-8.
This is the thing, like I said, Sentinel just sit there. The slow orb, the paint shell, and also Cold meant to spot it with the owl drone.
Yep.
Again, that's 3 members of G2 accounted for, and I think actually on the back of that, G2 are like, oh yeah, there's no way they're coming in. Sentinels just sit and wait, and actually they're waiting for obviously that recon bolt to come through, which I gotta say, I don't know if Coldamenta was caught on a reload or what, but he needs to be baiting for Nuki there. He needs to be the one to deal with that recon bolt.
Yeah, looked a little out of sorts. Again, this is pressure time now. This is stressful time. We have the buy coming out. 4 on the trot now for Sentinels. Economy in a good spot too. Seeing around like 5.9 on Zoms, 5.5 on Shaz. I know you see it too. We do have a timeout, it looks like. There it is. A lovely technical. Who doesn't love them? So, does look like Kellogg's is going to go for that op. Now I wonder if this could be a big influence or if it's already being considered and what the different look from Sentinels will be. We're all good to go. 8-8. Jumping back on in, no worries. Let's look at that op. Quick reminder, if you zoned out for a second like it looked like Avova did, Kellogg's does have the op out in play. So that's something that could be different, and that is it.
Finds it there. The wall comes up actually on the outside of the tube, and Kellogg's will actually find it. Okay,
Kellogg's.
Sticks the res there. Coldamenta will respond to Vova. Over towards B, we'll find Shazam.
Nuki, look at this guy. He's just gone, guys, the entirety of the space is clear. I've got middle, I've got everything you need. Just keep focusing on that B side. He's taken all that space and controlled it. The 3 players from Sentinels now are essentially noted. Every single one of them is known where they're at. So now they're going to have to fight basically back to the wall out of this. Tens, how much space can you get them? Swing on it. Okay, that's not bad. Second Dapper takes down the front line. This is no problem. Coldamenta doing what he can. But now it's a 2v3. Any more Tens is still working forward. This man will put the weight of the world on his shoulders for his side, but there's a player close by. Sees Kellogg's, expects a swing from Coldamenta. He reads him so well. Tens is just going God mode. And now the 2v2. He's working out every single... Has he just read Nuki's position? But the timing is just off. Nuki does him by a second, and there it is. Safety found. And a sigh of relief as Tens was about to tear him apart.
G2 put their first round on the board, but Tens, man, you can never count them out. And he reads that perfectly.
He almost had Nuki too.
The operator shot comes through from Kellogg's, and he knows that the counter peak's coming through from Coldamenta. This opener, beautiful stuff here. I think Zomzatsi has an idea that something's coming. Oh, what a fascinating round, but they nearly got it done. I think just a little misread from Tens. I think he was potentially coming from a completely different angle there, so Nuki gets the second seemingly for free. Shazam with that operator online now, Lauren.
Okay, next step, back and forth we go. Kellogg's had his out, right back in it, Shaz.
They're brute forcing.
Yeah, it looks like Mixwell, though, he was not really ready for that. It was a bit of a, I guess, a lazy-ish clear on it. It outdone and then some in response. You can see all the ults coming down, and they actually both connect in the end. Coldamenta did find Sick, even at the very last go of it, which actually gives the player advantage back over to G2.
That will
Oh no!
Oh, Coldamenta and Nuki swing on the back of that owl drone. It's left to Zoms and Shazam here. Zoms with a Viper's Pit of his own, but right here it's going to be difficult. I mean, needs another kill in order to get that online, but the spike tucked just behind server here. Kellogg's will find one there. Zoms will trade one out, but 4 HP, just a matter of time. Avova comes through. G2 put themselves 2 ahead here in the second half.
They bounced back. They found that little bit of rhythm here, 10-8, as you said. This was the first couple they've strung together off the back of an actual timeout where they were discussing what was happening. We saw that op coming out for Kellogg's. Whether it be that or just the adjustments off the back, it is working. And now on the other side, we did see the op for Shaz, but now luckily, you know, not luckily, but just well considered, he still had the knives to fall back on, so his economy will be just fine. But outside of that, 2 now, double digits. This is game on, Hypoc.
It is, and this is a pivotal round. 3,300 left in the bank for Sentinels as a whole. Shazam going to ride through the Blade Storm. Kellogg's will face the Owl Drone. And again, Sentinels looking to force the issue onto A site. Mixwell called upon once again.
Caught out last time, needs to do better this time. I want to see how he approaches this. Kellogg's looking after a lot of angles here. This can get incredibly dicey. Still looking for it. And they're now encroaching on the site. Spots one, can't find it, needs to back away. Spike coming down, we're in post-plant territory.
Kellogg actually will respond with a Blade Storm of his own. Viper's Pit invested on site here. Sentinels looking to secure. Actually, Nuki wins
What?
a 1v1 with Dapper on the flank here. Shazam,
No!
he's found a second, Lauren.
Nuki just straight up clotheslined him, and now a 5v3. This retake looks like it's got legs, but 10 still stands, so I won't run him out just yet. And diving on in. Oh, out of nowhere, Sick just gets surprised. Just didn't expect Kellogg's, and now we're down to just 10s, and he's fallen. It's going to be 11 on the board.
What a response from G2. Again, remaining composed, everything stacked against them in that round. The Viper's Pit setting up such a stranglehold on the site there, but Nuki finding two insane kills on the flank to open up this retake.
Against the ults as well from Shaz. Oh.
Enemy remaining.
We got a game. We actually have a game.
We're getting closer and closer to a death slam there as well.
Yeah, it was getting there.
Sentinels looking, seems as if they're scrambling for answers here. Again, another round where they just try and send it at A. And like I said, Mixwell, a little fumble in the previous, but this time G2 holds strong.
Oh, Chaz. Dangerous games. Look at Avova's deeper push as well. He wants to take back that territory. Keep it somewhat in G2 favor.
See the wind in G2 sails now. They're looking to be a little more proactive, a little more decisive in some of these rounds. A wonky purchase here on the side of Sentinels. 10's on a Guardian, Sick. And that Spectre. Kellogg's there, will open things up with the operator though. Shazam falls. Kellogg tries to dip back in again for a second.
These peaks from Kellogg's man are dangerous, but maybe feeling himself. You can see as to why. Just going to keep trying to be stylish on the 20 HP, and he's still going. That's 3. And more Beckham, but Coldamenta's got his cross. He's got his buddy in arms, and Kellogg's finally falls, but the rest of G2 are right here as Dapper left amongst the bodies of his teammates. So few options. Mixwell watching the back. Coldamenta, the first man forward. It's going to be 12 now, 1 away from map 3.
This is insane for G2 to respond like this. After dropping the first 4 rounds of this half, they've responded with 4 of their own. And Sentinels now tapped out. Kellogg's finally honed in, finding these shots when it absolutely matters for G2. And this is the sort of thing, the confidence building for this young man.
We said at the very start of this, G2 have to awaken the beast that's been laying dormant since the very early days of Valorant. That name came with a lot of weight to it. It dipped away for a while. This could be the resurgence, and that's the start. Kellogg's already getting off to a cracking beginning. Nuki to follow. This is looking like they're about to put a bow on it for at least this map and get ready for that third. Can imagine a better way to see these two giants clash, but there's still Dapper, Sick, and 10s. But A is just looking closed for business.
Absolutely. Mixwell again in the position. 10s will actually find a response. Of over though. They're in position. Look at that. Kellogg's with another 3-piece to close things out. G2 13-8 on map 2 here, Lauren. Absolutely pivotal to their success versus F4Q. And again with that and into Icebox, I want to see him continue that pace. Carry that across now to map 3.
This, roll your minds back. Fnatic against Sentinels. The last battle between NA and EU went down on this map, and it's where NA destroyed EU. But there were moments that Fnatic found. Can G2 muster a little bit of that brilliance to bring it back through here to maybe reset history? We'll find out. For now, we're live into this one. And things are all going swimmingly so far, but back in the site, the first battle. Kellogg's going to find one, but Shazam is right there, as is Dapper. It's a 2-for-1 trade-out.
Oh, actually, straight away, G2 call an audible here. They're going to try and drift through garage towards C. Coldamenta can't get lost with that spike right now of over. Trying to find space elsewhere, guarantee this entry. A little bit of damage, actually, forced Zoms away, so G2 will be able to pick up control initially. Actually, Coldamenta hesitant to plant here, and look at this stack up here.
Hold on, Avova really has his moments on this map. Oh, just had to hit the reload. We did so much damage, but now just Coldamenta, a 1v2. Mixwell did find Shaz. Now Coldamenta, the timing, he's dead. 10s on the swing. Sentinels start things off with the first round.
It's so close there. I think the fact that Coldamenta, I guess, pauses for a moment gives Sentinels the opportunity to stack up there and play the numbers advantage on the way back in. Avova call upon, but seemingly out in no man's land with a frenzy there, can't even convert the damage necessary to make sure. But again, what a flip here. Kellogg finds the entry. Sentinels will spawn with 2. Again, just the timing on that reload. Coldamenta only had 2 bullets left. So Sentinels strike first. Nothing invested here. Actually, 1 sheriff, 2 sheriffs at the very last second here on Mixwell and Kellogg's.
Love seeing a Phoenix play. Good little pop flash. Sick eats a fair amount of it, though. Gonna peel himself away as much as he can. And there's Tens. Tens in this weapon, man, it really seems to suit well together. Falls instantaneously away. Deeper angle now. Let's see if anyone's gonna try and slip through. He's gonna hear these steps. 2 coming his way, 2 through short. Another found. Tens is farming. That's 3. How many more are you going to get? Tens up and over? Go on, buddy. Yeah, why not? Tens just flexing now.
The budget operator doing work for Tens there in round 2. Again, good progress as well towards that Blade Storm early on. G2 now called upon in their buy round. Don't want Sentinels to build up any buffer in these first rounds.
3.
Looks so easy. Now we'll have to see how G2 approach this. Again, I'm looking for fast hits. I'm looking to find these opening duels. Again, with Coldamenta on the sky now, Kellogg's has a little bit of support around.
Well, look, I've loved Mixwell on that sky before, but you know, Coldamenta just as good with Kellogg's. That combination, that 1-2 that we get to see. And Tenzo still looking to be integral this round, leaning a little bit more proactively down middle. Taking that little bit of a risk, but not much. Still able to obviously move away. Probably mobile. Kellogg's likes being seen. Happy with it. To give him maybe a notion of intent. And there are now 4 players leaning this way for Sentinels.
Indeed, happy to give up C, at least with Zoms over in Garage now. No utility there to really give away any indication of G2 pushing forward, but Avova now starting to explore Garage. And G2 desperately scrambling to find some information, but Sentinel's giving away nothing. Nope. I think Dapper, is tucked in here, but Shazam's the only utility noted here. I think on the side of G2, Shazam's the only thing that they've noted.
Tens is still waiting. He's not moving. He
does
have
Dapper in as well.
Dapper, exactly. Just down in that pocket down below. Turns the flash a little early, but Dapper's still just fine. Gets one on Nookie, can't follow up. Good trade for Coldamenta there, but the problem is Shazam's right here towards Kellogg's. This is now a problem. It's not feeling so good. Avova outdone by Shazam. This is the bonus, so you're meant to be working towards Mixwell. Can't do it either, and it's looking disastrous now. G2 will be unhappy with that as Sentinels will be grinning ear to ear.
They post around 3 survive. Again, Sentinels now with a huge opportunity to pile on the pressure. G2, again, whether or not anything is thrown back into this one, but again, just the setup there. Dapper baited in perfectly by Tens. Again, they're in position so quickly to stop any of this pressure that G2 are trying to mount. Again, like I said, it's G2 scrambling for something to be the green light to hit somewhere. Sentinels give them absolutely nothing.
No, you don't get given much in this, and it's very hard to dictate the pace towards Sentinels as well. There's a reason they're exceedingly good at this map, and of course this entire game. Now at this point, Tens brings out the big boy instead of the the knockoff. So he'll be just fine. Sitting towards A, he does have Shaz just by his side as well, and of course on the other side we have the Shiko coming out.
Love a Shiko.
Can't get enough.
See if G2 can get anything going here. Coldamenta straight away.
Spike down,
Shut down on that swing on window.
Going up.
Sick will peel away. Again, the spike noted now at least. A good indication as to how G2 are set up. Again, Sentinels just holding strong here. Avova actually spotted out on the way through. Dapper and Zom's called upon now, but again, Sick finds Avova. G2 just not being given entry anywhere at all, Lauren. Sick now again. Facing down the last 2 members. We'll find the first chemical trade, but not much else to get done. Zoms will clean things up.
Very clean.
Well handled by Sentinels. Again, just not allowing G2 to punish the or even damage the economy, I should say. Sentinels now with a huge...
Because 4-0, they do need to find a bit of an answer soon. This is what the timeout is here to address, because these rounds haven't been that close. I feel like they haven't even really been able to execute on the sites. They've been struggling to have that ability.
Well, the thing with G2 is, well, we know they lean away from these kind of choreographed, like set pieces, set pieces, and again, that's why it almost relies on. Oh, actually, a bit of spam coming through from outside B there onto Colamenta, but it's so difficult to find an opening duel here that Sick will just continue to command garage area. And again here, look, just nothing gained. The other way, you've got Tens now posted on A long. Mixwell there.
Okay.
Not creeping through just yet.
I've got your trail.
Okay, let's see what they do with these Seekers then. They have drawn rotations. I mean, you can put a lot of faith in Tens, though. He's still pretty solid with that up, and now Six going to lean on in. Going to actually get one as well. The spray doesn't quite connect for the second, but Zoms has his back as well. Avova's now gone. Kellogg's looking a little isolated on the side. He needs some support here. He only gets the trade in the end. It's a 4v2. These trades are so effective for Sentinels.
As well, the ability to pause and allow Sick to come through and just bait out that first engagement.
Look how deep these rotations are, man. There's no risks.
Especially with Dapper's utility still in position here. Give away exactly what's about to happen. There you go, Mixwell will actually hop into the first. Nuki will remove the second.
30 seconds left.
Actually, the Hunter Fury comes through. Dapper will find a kill anyway, but Nuki called upon now, and again, G2 just cannot find anything here versus Sentinels. And again, the thing is, when the rounds play out like this, they don't even really get a good feel for initially how Sentinels are set up, and every time just one piece of the puzzle moves, it's then G2 resetting effectively.
Yeah, but this is the beauty of Sentinels. It's like watching an artist paint a picture. They are so good at playing this map. It's incredibly hard to, one, get to the position to even have those executes that G2 don't particularly like anyway. How do we get reads on rotations? And even if they get a read, how do we punish those? You just can't. At the moment, Sentinels are playing an incredibly elevated game. Throw into that, G2's money is now in the bin. It's starting to mount up a little here, but let's see if Kellogg's can maybe offset that. They've been struggling to deal with the 10 Shazam combo over towards this side of the map, and maybe some more of that to come, but maybe overwhelmed. Who knows? Maybe not.
My word.
Tens brings it down on him, just the guillotine slicing through. Shaz by his side, and now a new position adopted. Double stack towards long as well. They still have so many players always in the right place. Tens a second away, but Shaz is right there. Puts his life on the line, and it's another round. 6-0, Sentinels. Answering back real loud.
It's actually great. I think that's the third or fourth round now where G2 have only been able to find one.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. I mean, Sick now actually up to 8-2. Dapper now, the ultimate available 10 still with that operator. Blade Storm online towards G2. Lockdown, Nuki one off the res, but again, these are very reactive ults here that I don't think G2 really are in a position to lean on with the way these rounds have gone. They're not being given enough to find an opening and then try and secure the round or secure control of any of these sites.
I love that. Tens just swinging out anti-flash, gets himself into a great position now. But on the other side, there's still Mixwell. But I've seen this man turn a sniper into a shotgun, so don't be surprised if you see it again!
Oh my God.
Tens does it to him. Mixwell left ringing off of that. What are you meant to do? There's now 4 of them. The first brave step they put forward, they get met by that.
And look at this as well. Sick down C long, so they know that Sentinels can drift away from C. 2 players positioned now to greet this push of G2. Zoms and Dapper. Again, there's just no way in. Sentinels perfectly positioned to stop anything here. And the problem being, they're going to come through Garage. All of C-Long control is in favor of Sentinels.
Okay, Dapper, how much have you got here, though? You've got a lot of pressure coming your way. Outdone eventually, but here's the next layer. Sick, holding long. That's a dirty angle to try and clear. It's so nasty. And now his Zoms on the swing through on CT. He does get traded out on, but the numbers are still so favorable to Sentinels. A 3v2. Nuki and Avova. Now looking for that next step. Avova can be good here, but that player on logs is just in the most unreadable position. There it is. Shaz just breaks the back of any hope that G2 are trying to build here. And Nuki, he's done for. Sentinels are putting on a show, and it's a damn good one at that.
And that's a perfect example. That round there of the contingencies in place. Sick gets into a position where actually, even if he just trades 1-for-1 and G2 decide to swing onto long and try and get towards C site, he's in here actually a laboured spray on the first, got to argue, could have been good for a second, but it's the fact that as soon as Sick's in that position, Sentinels are there to greet either B or Garage. It's absolutely flawless.
Looks like the tank might have run out of gas for G2. 7-0, clean rounds, no opportunities to get in. We argue about the depth. These were the team that came through in pretty much the last locked-in place here. Depth was always going to be the question. How far can they take this? For now, they take themselves towards B. Dapper on the other side, sitting towards the connector on the A side, but it's Sick. Takes himself forward. The spree's a little bit fruity, a little wild, but it's just fine in the end. And again, there is still no hope. There is still no way in. There's no way out. It's just a Vova left on his lonesome. A 1v4, a miracle round at this point.
Whether or not Sentinels will even give him one. Nope, Sick slapped a Vova down. His 4th on the round. Sentinels 8th on the board. This is where you start getting worried here. Again, lockdown still available, not called upon in, I feel like 4 or 5 rounds now that's been available. But again, even here, on this round in particular is the one where G2 decide to go a little more aggressive. And this now, it's got to, the tendency now is to play even more passive on the buy round because effectively tapped out here, 1,300 credits left in the bank. Looking with a revive, Coldamenta 2 away from Seekers. Blade Storm, Cosmic Divide, Shazam now with a Hunter's Fury. Sick with another run it back, Lauren.
Here.
This is looking pretty terrible for G2.
It is. Another shot at it, another bite to the cherry. Kellogg's. Doesn't actually hit shows Nookies towards Dapper that time. Here comes everyone else though. Sick straight on it. Life on the line. The spray good. They get on the first and they're just working away at G2 as they try and step towards the site. Arez comes out slowly but surely. Those zombies now flashed up. Has a problem with this one. It's Mixwell to capitalize as well towards CT. Finally, G2 making some work out of it. 1 on the board.
I said actually maybe the tendency is to play a little more passively. This one they really forced the issue onto C site. Kellogg's leading the charge for G2. Actually Nookie perfectly timed on that swing. Again, you've got to credit Sentinels there. It's the ability to back up the Hunter's Fury in combination with the run it back to try and get back onto site, ahead of that spike even going down. Sentinels willing to fight to the death as G2 come in for that execute.
Do it again, though. You got to do it for the last couple of rounds, right? Like, this is the thing. This can't just stop now. You have to keep delivering in this fight again. Mixwell against Tens!
No way, man!
Get out of here, Tens! How are you doing it to him? Mixwell's such a veteran, man. He knows this. He knows in his head he's thinking through the steps. And there he is regardless. Tens just, he's the boogeyman in this game. You just don't want to go near him.
That's crazy. I mean, it's a testament to just how good Tens is, but made Mixwell look slow there, honestly.
Which is not, it's not something we often say. Mixwell is so good at this normally. Wow.
Just caught a pixel out of place, but no damage done to Shazam, actually. Seeker's invested now. Coldamenta to try and force his way through onto A. Maybe try and catch something here. Nookie will spot out at least one member on B site, but the spike headed towards C. Dapper will be called upon.
Dapper's still here. Not moving. Not giving it away, and now he knows something's up. 2 players working forward, 1 still towards Garage, maybe looking to exploit that rotation would be Nookie. But Zombs is there now to back up Dapper, and Shaz did find Nookie, so that lurk's now removed. Kellogg's and the boys on C feeling a little silly here, not able to make the connection they wanted. Kellogg's is doing the best he can, but I don't think it's going to be enough. No, it's not. And Coldamenta, a little late to the party, but going to take down 2. Maybe a little overzealous on the peaks and some curious positioning from Tens. Still on the backside and middle, just not going to expect it, are you? And tucked in the corner, it's going to be Sick, and it's going to be another for Sentinels. This one's looking all but over.
Again, just watch that back. It takes them so long to get up towards it. Then they're posted behind the trap wire. And again, Dapper buys effectively like 8 seconds with those two. Okay, yeah. That's even worse from the other angle. But with those 2 cages there, buys so much time for the rotation to come through that Sentinels can effectively fight a 3v3 on site before the spike is even close to getting planted.
A reminder to every other team who maybe thought there was hope, who looked at this going, they've dropped a map. First one they've ever dropped. Maybe they're human. Maybe this is the time to strike. Maybe not. It's 9-1. Up and over. Kellogg's just swats him out the air. Tens is so just nasty with everything he does. He's still aggressing. He's knocking down Sewer, falls away just to get out of the eyes of that dog, and now can re-aggress on it. Six on the flank. He's in the spawn. They're making it hurt now. Just a chokehold on G2, sending him back. This is all but over, Sentinels.
The Prime Gaming flawless. What a setup, and Six so quickly in position to absolutely punish G2 before they can even get the ball rolling.
Out of my way.
Staring down the back. This is so good. Tens doesn't even wait for the audio cue there. He's already posted. There's not even like a reactionary shot. It's like, Bladestorm was available. Somebody sit C-long with me. I'm holding the angle above. It's crazy to watch this guy play.
Truly. 10-1.
Oh my god.
And the play from Sick. And look at the spam. Shaz. Oh, Sick still going. There's no rest. There's no room for air. This shouldn't be allowed on Twitch.
No, this is absolutely relentless. Finally, the lockdown going to be invested here. And Avova actually will find some damn. I don't think Sentinel's too bothered about the outcome of this round in particular. Zombs creep towards the G2 spawn. Actually coming back in here. Dapper going to find Nookie. Over on the other side of this wall. We'll find another kill. Kellogg's actually flanking on the backside, but Zom's still alive and kicking. Finds a spike, finds a second. Kellogg's will fall. Mixwell, 17 HP in a 1v2.
Not moving a muscle. Sat. Maybe stunned a little at the scoreline, hoping the timing would be offset. Soms hasn't moved that far, has he? I feel like there's a knife or something coming.
Well, Dapper's dead, so it's probably not.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got a horrible feeling. 14 seconds. Clock beginning to rot. Mixwell turns the corner. Zoms is there. This is Sentinels sending more than a message. A reminder to EU. This is where Fnatic fell. This is where G2's going to fall, and maybe the group stage. But you don't get past us on this map.
This is absolutely brutal. Conversions as well. And then a couple more.
Right.
Because once Sentinels get to their bye round...
But imagine if they did it.
Can you imagine?
Don't be biased to Sentinels now. Gosh. G2 can do it too. We'll find out. It's 11-1. This is the group stage. Keep in mind, the first time, really, we're seeing this NAEU battle go down, and it has been taken to a third, which definitely caught some of us off guard. Kellogg's trying to catch someone off guard for Six, having none of it. He does not care. He sends him right back like, don't worry, boys, you'll have a break soon. I'll try and get this over for you nice and quick. 3 still stand, and the A hit looks like at least being toyed with. Some audio cues given, but they peel away.
Avova's got himself all the way to the bottom of C-Long. He's going to hear this information, should pull the rotation from G2, see if he can find anything on the way in.
Oh.
Actually, the trigger discipline is perfect here.
How long does he hold this? Till right about then. Pulls the trigger on 10, but now he knows there's another. Wait, what?
He was in Astral form. He didn't hear it at all.
Absolutely clueless, and this gets spun on its head. Avova maybe being the lifeline, at least for a couple more rounds. Dapper, though, first step in, and it's a good one. 40 more seconds to play with. He's got time. He's about to have the spike as well. 35 seconds to make something out of this.
No way.
Now, he's got to know if Over at least was on C-Long. That's the last call. Nookie hasn't been particularly noted. Left. Maybe was on A earlier. Now, 25 seconds. What does he do with this?
Yeah, actually, Nookie's close enough to hear that spy cam activation as well, so he's going to go hunting, but Dapper, meanwhile, has free access to A site.
Now, where would he post plant this? Okay, so the closest plant he can. Does he?
Just do a
slip back to CT? No, he can't.
Oh, I was going to say. If Dapper went for the push there, actually the opportunity to open this up. Yeah, exactly.
I thought maybe he'd slip back in for that CT push, but no.
Still going to find a 1v1.
Right, he is finding that 1v1. Now he's being encroached on by Avova, who's the absolute difference maker, and timing's everything. Dapper now needs to turn, and Avova saved it. He's given them just one breath in this.
11-2. Avova going huge on the pistol round again. The timing of Zombs slipping in to try and set up that push onto C. Again, Avova, the balls to pull that off there, to let the first pass, the second as well, and let them actually come up. And the whole time he's relaying that information. He wants the contact to come through from Mixwell on site as well. Sentinels, they're going to throw a couple of bits and bobs into this round.
It's not.
Reconsidered, actually. Yeah, just it looked like 3 Sheriffs and 10s, obviously, with that budget operator, but
why not? Always seems to find a bit of value with it, but Kellogg's feeling bold enough to go for a walkabout. Dapper taking a chunk of damage here. This should be a free one. It is. Kellogg's going to get him in combination with that Sky utility coming through sewer. It will draw the attention of the others, but 10s. There's a reason we say there's a value to always him having this seemingly in his hands at very bare minimum, and you can see as to why.
Look at the utility in Garage. Sick decides to push on through. Shazam on red alert here, just in case Kellogg's comes through. Sick actually going to note the alarm bot here. Actually going to smoke it off, so
interesting.
Maybe have to slip through. This is huge, actually.
Now, luckily for G2, Avova is very, very sharp in this. Mixwell goes back and the calls are being made. There it is, 4 stand. And they take another step.
Need that back.
Actually, a good opportunity here for G2 to come through, ride some of that lesser weaponry. See, I mean, 10's only player on Sentinels, I think, to be sat below 1,000 credits on that previous, but be able to afford the light armor and the rifle. Only one on the side of G2, though, and that's Mixwell. To see here if G2 are able to maintain this. Honestly, Kellogg's again pivotal in that previous round, finding that kill onto Dapper, again controlling a lobby, and he's walking with a Spectre. This is bold, to say the least.
Yeah, he's been spotted as well, so needs to fall off that one. But Sick has been so influential in some of Sentinels rounds. Mixwell on the other side here, just trying to buy time. Rotation coming in as well for Kellogg's. Oh, Dapper. Okay, okay. So showing a lot of presence here. I don't know if they've realized it's 2 players. They probably have a good idea now. It might be more than just one. And Kellogg's going to try and sit in on that close angle on that wall side. Mixwell drawing attention towards Heaven, but this is now where it gets problematic. Mixwell's gone down, so Kellogg's is all alone.
G10 is going to find it as soon as the smokes drop. Rookie now makes his way up towards Heaven. Sentinel still will pause for a moment, just in case G2 consider trying anything to stop that spike going down. A 4v3 here for Sentinels in the post plant. See if G2 can fight back in.
There's the pop flash, here's the push. And 10s is just something else. The man is just built different. Look at him. Gets him to 12. And the war cries out, if you can hear it behind us. This is not just map point, this is match point, series point. This would be the GG now. 6 had a tear, 10s has been on today, but everyone from Sentinels has fired on this map.
Absolutely, they've looked flawless through most of this. Again, even the rounds that G2 are able to squeeze out here in the second. So still could have turned the tides. Can actually Mixwell down on a frenzy here because of that purchase in the previous. 10's already with the Blade Storm online. Aldrone straight away up C-Long. I think actually Sick with the running back as well. They're looking for a full sight hit here. Look at this coming through from 10's and Sick.
There's no way to stop him now. 10s is right on the side. He's going to take down Avova and look for the follow-up, but no one dares walk towards him at this point. He is just truly intimidating here. Now the spike can be ferried across.
G2 actually get ahead of the curve a little bit. A big flash comes through, but Mixwell unable to find anything. Coldamenta will find Zombs. Seeker's invested. Lucky and Sick will find kills respectively. Kellogg's again responds. G2 actually at 3v2.
Yeah, but if Sick and 10s are alive, I'm still not writing off Kellogg's with a banger towards 10s. Now Sick, what you got for us? One flash, he swings it early. Kellogg still holds. G2 gonna make it to 4.
Everything but the kitchen sink thrown at that from Sentinels, but I love Zom's reactionary utility there. Again, Tens and Sick, they come up, they run it back, the Blade Storm in unison, but also the utility usage just isolates this player on site. There's no possibility for anybody from G2 to even swing through and try and save Avova.
Kellogg's lovely work with that flash coming around the corner. Let's see the link.
Let's fucking go.
Let's freaking go.
Let's go. 8 more rounds, guys. Let's
do it. I love that.
Hey, I want to see it. I want to see it. I don't know if we will.
I want to, though. Yeah, I'm with you. Let's go see how far we can take this then. 4-12 is the current scoreline. It is a mountain. And already, Nuki's found 10s. So a good start. Still showing this willingness to push at this point. Says a little something.
Sick, though, has all the way onto a site with Dapper. Again, look at this crossfire, though. Mixwell's giving it up, but they are anticipating that exact threat. Nuki will find 2 more, his 3rd on the round. Bombs will respond, but a 4v2 for G2. Okay, make that a 2v2.
Okay, this is not how it happened, surely. From a 4v2 to a 2v2. And the last of Shaz and Zoms this time. Looking like A's the area they're going to be heading towards. Spike in the hands of Shaz. Heading on over. Coldamenta and Avova on the other side.
Avova might have even been heard there.
Oh, look at this. Just a slice, just a portion. Flash comes in. And actually they're pushing it. Coldamenta good for 1.
Player standing.
Now does Avova get... Yeah, Shaz knows exactly... Okay.
The read from both of them there.
They both come off it.
Avova delivers. G2 will live to fight another day.
It's 5.
Again, yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. For Nuki and Kellogg's to still be this decisive in some of these rounds, it's exactly what G2 need if they're going to make this a possibility.
Even they knew that was just that was a straight up coin flip. Just.
I think Sick was actually anticipating exactly what was about to happen. Yeah.
And we go again, 5-12. The money is broken this time, but hey, we've seen these rounds sometimes go a little wonky. The Sheriff's through a 4. Okay, and the Marshal. The G2 should be aware of this. They have to be on red alert. This is not just a walkthrough, just because the weaponry isn't there. It's one of the biggest tells of that first map that worried us. The anti-ecos. This is not how you'd want to lose a series. 10, spotting out 1 towards back flat.
Don't show your head.
Bloody hell, he's crossing back over just as the smoke dissipates. Avova, careful, but you've all seen the clips of Avova in this corner, and you might see it again. That's 2 lovely frags. He's up against pistols, though, so we're not going to scream and yell just yet. And Shaz sees the flash. Before he gonna lose. Oh! Avova. Keep it chill, mate. There we go. 2 now left. 10s and Zoms. No opportunities. Well, no opportunities other than that one with Avova really presented.
Mixwell still had the jump again there. Tens just landing the headshot. 21 HP. Find another here. Kellogg's might actually spot him there. Nope. Avova. Find his 3rd on the round.
6. It's clean as well.
This would be
I'm ready for it.
Pretty interesting spectacle.
What colours do G2 have normally? Like, what's their like shirt colour? It's kind of just like black, right?
Yeah.
Like, a little bit like red and white. I'm tempted to say I'll dye my hair that colour at this point if they actually do pull it back and win.
I'll dye my hair the colour of G2's jerseys. How's that sound?
Same, I'm with you.
Yeah?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay.
This can only go well. I mean, it has been...
Safe for me.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's not bad, is it? Just salt and pepper. 12-6, though. This is another big round. Buy round coming in. Rifles back out for Sentinels, so they're sat in a much better position. We do have the res on Nuki. Mix up with his ult as well, so the more kind of, I guess, instigating ults. But Coldamenta now, starting to feel things out here. Spots out at least 1. That's Sick now noted. You can see the creep up on long as well. Kellogg's better be locked and loaded. Coldamenta good for 1. Spots out another. Flash comes in. Smoke goes down. Zomzo, great work towards Coldamenta. That's now a problem for Kellogg's.
The neural theft will be popped to the information reveal, but Sentinels look to force their way through.
Timing.
1 for 1, actually. Nuki will find another one in response to the Hunter's Fury popped. Zoms now get through. The lockdown will be removed. The the back of that. And look at that, Nookie and Mixwell combine. G2 post another.
It's
They're 7th now.
Now, normally we don't get excited for comebacks until double digits is achieved by the team on the comeback. Generally, the general rule of thumb. I'll give it till 8. I'll give it till 8 and then I'm on board. And then obviously they'll lose that one. It's over and done with. But this...
Looking at the script, actually.
Well, I haven't got that page. Production just ripped it out, so I don't know. We're going off script here. It's mad. 7 to 12. Money's back down. Now, the problem is, we talk about money. Sentinels will be in this kind of, not perpetual phase. They will be able to get buys, but it is going to be that little bit of an issue here and there. But, again, still danger aplenty. G2, how resilient are you? That's the big question here. How far can you take this, truly?
Well, the way they're reacting, actually, again, these rounds are a little unorthodox. Tends to try and just find an opener here. We'll spot of over, actually, behind Platt. Over will escape back here, and Kellogg's find sick on the other extremity. So Sentinels doing what they tried to do on Split, just pull these rotations and create their own gap in the defense. G2 much better equipped this time around.
Yeah. Again, same sort of work leading in through from Garage. You're going to have, I think it's going to be Nookie at the back, watching the pusher in case there is pressure here, but Tens has actually garnered some space. Spots out one, that's ambitious, and Mixwell this time does get the better of him. Good follow-up. And there it is, it's Prime Gaming Flawless. We're at a G2. They are now starting to build up a little bit of hope. Just a little bit of hope. Starting to filter through. 6 not been necessarily quelled, he's on 24, but he has been slowed down in this half compared to him running rampant in the first.
Yeah, which is interesting. Again, you quite often see Sentinels just throw Tens and Sick into the mix, and more often than not, they're able to find entries. They're able to find actually 2 or 3 kills on the back of that, and right here, as I said, you got to credit G2. I mean, particularly Avova and Mixwell, who time and time again are able to shut down Garage and see sight. And Sentinels sat a little deeper.
Yep.
Kellogg's now posted, but the run it back,
this is
see what he can get done.
Yeah, lovely utility work so far. Going to at least hinder some of that approach through Garage. Forces him to look towards that B site. That's a problem. Golden Mentor, Nookie, it's all falling to pieces. Sentinels tearing away that just a dash of hope that they had, and now it's down to Avova on Kellogg's. They know Avova's back here. He's been here every round. He's now surrounded. 1, 2, 3. It's just going to be sick to shut him down as Kellogg's prevented the impossible before. This time, Sick. I couldn't imagine a better player to close it down, and in flawless fashion.
Again, eventually, they're able to break through and find that final round necessary, but G2 showing resilience. Again, we talk about the pedigree of this name, this brand, and how often they've actually had to play from behind. Right there, a big positive, but again, bigger picture. You got to look back on that first half and just think, actually, what is the depth to this team on the international stage? Because Sentinels, we have a fairly good grasp on where we place them.
Yeah, we do. I think that's a